We have some free agency, risers and fallers. I have not drafted any teams since last Monday, my first drafts of 2026. And I'm ready to hop back in these lobbies, see where Kenneth Walker is going, see where Romeo Doubs is going, see where Bayshell Tootin is going. I'm Pete Overzet. This is a Wednesday edition of Best Ball Breakfast. Let's do it. It really isn't that hard, guys. You just go top two, win it, win it. Okay, I think we can be done here at running back. You only have 3 running backs. This roster is littered with game theory, arbitrage, exploits, and theoretic reasoning. Bro, light mode, my eyes, dude. I don't know. I prefer that move more in a time box contest. Bro, have you ever scrolled so far down that, there's no more names, bro? Don't do drugs, kids. Draft and drive instead. You can't have it both ways, dude. Quid pro quo. All right, GMs, what is up? Bindle's gonna Ross B. Stockel. Bukowski's on his 3rd cup of bean. I'm gonna be joining you here in a second as well. What's up, Chosen Deezer? Glad Best Ball Breakfast is back. Correct. Yeah, I was traveling on Monday, which of course is the normal slot for Best Ball Breakfast, but I'm fired up to draft a couple of teams after all of this free agency frenzy. So thought I would get one going here on a Wednesday. What's up, Josh? Willis talking a little hoops. Bam. Adebayo going for 83 last night. Incredible. I remember where I was when Kobe went for, 81? I was in college. I think I was either a freshman or a sophomore in college when Kobe did that. So it was always meant to be broken by a center on the Miami Heat. Unbelievable. I was asking Zakarian this morning. I was like, if before the season, how many guesses would it take if you told someone there's going to be a player who breaks Kobe's record, who scores 83 points in a game? How many guesses would you need until you got to Bam? I mean, it has to be at least 40 to 50 guesses. I think his career high heading into that was 40 something points, and he doubles it. Absolute insanity there. But that's enough NBA talk. If you want more NBA talk, we did break down the Dog Bowl yesterday on Off and On the Clock. Nice little recap there. Of course, G for Gumby, one of the guys from the Deposit Kingdom community. He took it down. So if you guys want more stories from the Dog Bowl, recommend checking that out there. But yeah, we got football stuff to go. I mean, holy cow, right? Last night, as I'm getting ready to log off for the evening, seeing that the Ravens have backed out of the Max Crosby trade, didn't pass his physical, and then immediately go and sign Trey Hendrickson for basically a very similar contract there. So, we don't get too much in the defensive weeds around here. But man, when you're talking about Max Crosby, certainly making waves there. And yes, KZ, who's always vouching for the Ravens, does not want any slander there. What's up, Who Hames? What is up, Chunk the Deuce? Ooh, this is a fun one. Go AZ Cards. Pete, favorite free agent move? You know what? I will say it, and I'm gonna receive allegations that I'm a closet New England Patriots fan. But I think signing Romeo Doubs was a good ass signing for the Patriots. I'm a Romeo Doubs believer. I think he's a good receiver. Maybe I've been Leone pilled, but I think he's exactly what they need in that offense. I think he's a really nice replacement for Stephon Diggs. He can win inside. He can win outside. Wide receiver room right now is Bills-esque. That's what I said in the Fantasy Life newsletter today. I think Romeo Doubs is the step in the right direction for giving Drake Maye some weapons there. And you don't want Romeo Doubs to be your number one. They still need to either nail an alpha wide receiver in the draft or somehow pull off a trade for AJ Brown or whatever. But they're still early in their development. And I don't know. I just like the Romeo Doubs signing. I don't think it's the sexiest one. It's not Kenneth Walker to the Chiefs, but I think it gets the job done there. Let's see here. Tanner flexing how many drafts he's done on me. I've got 20 drafts under my belt so far. 50-50 pre and post free agency. Look at you going there. GMs. Bates with the all caps backed out of the trade. Cold feet. All right. What's up, Chad? What is up, B-Spurf? All right. Yeah, Ben Friedman saying Doubs feels bullish for Booty and Williams if no one else signs him. Yeah, I took Booty on one of those first drafts I did last week, and then I had watched ADP chasing after the fact, and they were shitting all over the Kayshon Booty stuff. Again, do you want Kayshon Booty to be your best wide receiver? Absolutely not. Ideally, I think Kayshon Booty is your number 3, right? You have the alpha, you have Romeo Doubs, and then you have Booty as the field stretcher. But I think Booty is still a strong pick, seem to have really good rapport. As far as Williams, I'm far less bullish on Kyle Williams. I feel like he had multiple opportunities to kind of show himself last year and didn't do it. I think the odds that he's a hit have decreased significantly since the Patriots drafted him. Not to say it's not impossible. We see these second-year bounce backs every now and again, but would have liked to see a little bit more efficiency from him. But I guess if you were going to hang your hat on any Kyle Williams optimism, it's just that Vrabel clearly wanted to slow play these rookies, incredibly reluctant to give Trevion Henderson a lot of work unless he was filling in for Ramondre. So maybe that's the cope for Kyle Williams, is just, hey, Vrabel's a rookie hater. Give him another year in the offseason program and he'll be able to, find a role. But I'm not holding my breath for him. All right, let's do a little coffee pour here because I need some coffee before we get rolling, and then we'll be ready. All right. I hopped in a draft. I tipped people off in the Discord, but it appears that this one has snap filled here. So apologies if you were trying to hop in the draft. As usual, I will always tip off our Discord crew. If you guys are Best Ball Value Hound YouTube members, one of the perks you get is the private channel in the Deposit Kingdom Discord, and I'll try to tip you guys off before I hop in drafts, but sometimes they snap fill and I can't do anything about it. We do have the 102. I think our first draft last week was an influencer 101, and then our second draft was a 103. So this is now going to be my third draft on this side of the board. I'm not sure if I should be complaining or rejoicing, but we have the 102, and guess what? Jahmyr Gibbs, did he not become the 101 yesterday when Isaiah Pacheco was the Lions' answer to replacing David Montgomery? I have never been less scared about an RB2 than I have Isaiah Pacheco behind Jahmyr Gibbs. So, yeah, I'm not going to say anything bad about Bijan. I think you can definitely take Bijan 101 if you'd like. And probably will if it's just playing the exposure game. If you're always taking Jahmyr Gibbs 101, you're going to end up with 0 Bijan, which doesn't feel great either. But I think in a vacuum, straight up, I only have one draft. Peter, the aliens come down and challenge you to a head-to-head best ball draft competition, and you get the 101. Who are you taking to beat the aliens in this fantasy football league? I'm taking Jahmyr Gibbs. 102 here. We do see the 3 wide receivers come off the board. Puka, Jason, and Chase. And oh my goodness, is this our new reality? Ashton Genty at 6 because the Raiders got a center in free agency. Who is it? Lindenbaum? I guess that's all we needed. We just needed one competent offensive lineman, and we were ready to take Ashton Genty at 6 overall. Thank you, KZ, for the strong review of the coffee pour. What's up, TD? Mark with the gifted memberships. Appreciate you, my dude. Thank you, sir. Beastperf says Patriots seem like most likely spot for AJ Brown. Yeah, they still have a ton of cap space, right? Would certainly make sense. Did I just see this morning that the Bills restructured Josh Allen's contract for a little bit of cap relief? Obviously, the Chiefs did that earlier this offseason with Mahomes, but the Chiefs were in, cap hell there. So they basically had to do that just to survive. And here it is again. Ravens just restructured Lamar Jackson's contract to create about $40 million in salary cap space. So yeah, but no, I'm with you. I mean, AJ Brown to the Patriots makes a ton of sense. Certainly does. Yeah, I mean, this is what I said in the newsletter too. I mean, it's really hard to be scared. We're talking about Pacheco here for our audio listeners, who I will always service. But OTR says, if you're the guy pulling up Pacheco into the 14th, 15th round, right? May I remind you, Kareem Hunt stole this man's job. For sure. For sure. I mean, that if you can't beat out Kareem Hunt for touches, I mean, again, if I'm going to play devil's advocate, and I'm devil's advocating myself because I agree with this take, it's that Isaiah Pacheco never had fully recovered from that injury, and with another offseason of rehab and in the Detroit Lions offense, you know, as the number 2, where traditionally Dan Campbell has not wanted to give Jahmyr Gibbs, you know, 25 touches a game. You know, he could be a sneaky bet for 6 to 7 touchdowns and have pretty nice contingent upside if Gibbs went down. That's me trying to muster the devil's advocate case for Isaiah Pacheco. But yeah, what's his ADP right now? Pacheco ADP of 225.6. So yeah, I don't know if anyone's pulling him up right now. I did, to help get me a little more organized today, I did throw in some ranks. I actually aggregated the ETR and leg up ranks just to kind of give me a little bit of a basis for where these guys should be going. And it doesn't look like either of them have Pacheco ranked. Jets drop bombs after yesterday's show. Are you now planning to max the dinger? No, I will not be maxing the dinger. But we did do a show on it yesterday with Dark Sheep. That was a fun show. I always like dipping my toes in, but I just don't have it in me to max, especially because I still don't know 98% of the players in the pool there for the dinger. But really good MLB 101 show if you're like me and you need some tips on structural drafting for the dinger. This is the MLB playoff best ball contest on Underdog, not playoff best ball, just best ball contest, $200,000 up top. And if you like stacking, MLB is a great sport for stacking there. So check out that show often on the clock yesterday. I selected Nico Collins in the second round. I believe I took him on one of my first 2 drafts last week. Now I'm back on the clock here again. Josh Jacobs, Chase Brown, AJ Brown is kicking around here. Yeah, I think I'm more of a Josh Jacobs than Chase Brown guy. But I will say, Chase Brown continues to basically just dodge all of these bullets. Like, he seems so dependent on them never investing in a solid RB2. And it just continues to be the perfect run out for him. So at some point, I'll probably need to be a believer, but I'll take kind of the more sure thing in Josh Jacobs right now. But yeah, Chase Brown's a tricky one for me. Where are you guys at with Chase Brown? Are you skeptical when you click him in the early third, or do you get warm, fuzzy feelings by Chase Brown? So we start out Jahmyr Gibbs, Nico Collins, Josh Jacobs. You know, I was trying to think, you know, some of the biggest risers that we're probably going to see. You know, Doubs, obviously, I think is on the rise there relative to ADP. Bashal Tutin, I mean, Bashal Tutin has to be one of the biggest risers there relative to his ADP as a guy who, as of now, has no backfield competition other than LaKent Allen. You got to expect that they either bring in some kind of presence, like, you know, if they bring in a Rashad White type, that wouldn't be, I think it'd be fine. But you're probably hoping that they just invest in the draft again and that Bashal Tutin holds off, you know, a 4th or 5th round pick in that backfield. Dobbins is, I believed, going to be going a little higher now after the Broncos didn't invest in anyone. I feel like they were the center of a lot of rumors. Oh, they're interested in Kenneth Walker. They're interested in Rico Dowdle. And then they end up just re-signing J.K. Dobbins. So Dobbins and Harvey are unscathed for now. And then some, you got some running back fallers too, right? The Trey Benson stuff with them bringing back Connor and signing Tyler Algier. Very bad for Benson. Not even great for Algier, honestly. I think Algier's probably going to be a little overdrafted, considering what a mess that could be with Connor and Benson still there. Kamara obviously dropping a ton now that they bring in ETN, and we have no clue what Kamara's outlook is going to be. Copy paste says he's skeptical on Chase Brown, but eating his veggies makes sense. RJ Harvey cooked. We have someone being like very mean to me here. Move camera, can't see draft, you doorknob. Honestly, as far as insults go, calling me a doorknob is pretty good, but you could just ask politely. It's kind of like with my toddler now, where she'll just be like, cheese. I'm like, April, say, can I have more cheese, please? So I'll let Walter take a breath and come back with a more polite request here. But he is really curious what the 10, 11, and 12 hole did in rounds 1 and 2. All right, we are back on the clock here. Davante Adams, Lamar, Jameson, Williams. Yeah, let's do a little JMO. We'll do a little Detroit stacking here on this fine Wednesday morning. We were actually talking about Jameson Williams yesterday on the Swolecast a little bit with Nez, and we were saying, who would you rather have right now, Jameson Williams or Luther Burden? And my comment was like, Luther Burden is on the Jameson Williams trajectory where he'll always be slightly overdrafted. So I'd rather just buy Jameson Williams, who actually has a path to a legit target share this year. And Burden will get there eventually. I just don't know if it's going to be this year. Man, this is kind of an IKB for me. I think I'm Mike Evans over Davante Adams. What do you guys think on that? I guess by, ADP in ranking, Adams stands out. I mean, they're both 2014 guys. It's not like there's a big age disparity between those two. Maybe I'm just a little excited about Mike Evans and the 49ers offense there. I think you're probably a little more insulated quarterback wise, just because there's no question about kind of what you're going to get from Brock Purdy, where I think when you're getting up there with Stafford's age, you introduce a little bit more risk. But yeah, that's a close one there too. Talk about kind of twins there. JMO versus Luther Burden, Mike Evans versus Davante Adams. Because in a lot of ways, Mike Evans is setting up to be this year's Davante Adams. The guy who changes teams and is a touchdown monster in a more efficient offense. Even if, he takes a little bit of a volume hit in San Francisco, which I don't even think he will. When you factor in the Kittle injury, no Ayuk, Pearsall's never been a massive target earner. I mean, it could be like both a spike in volume and efficiency with just how well that San Francisco offense runs. So yeah, I'll have to think that one through, but I do think that my knee-jerk reaction there was Evans over Adams. Yeah, very excited to see Evans on there. Explain Adams is a TD machine. Well, I feel like I am explaining. Is Mike Evans not a TD machine either? And I will say, I do think in this, he is a TD machine, but TDs are always going to be more volatile and less sticky year to year. You can see really big swings. Last year, there was a clear effort to get Matthew Stafford the MVP. They were using Davante Adams as like a goal line back. And could they continue to do that? Absolutely. But things could also normalize and they run the ball a little bit more at the goal line. Puka gets involved a little bit more at the goal line than he was earlier in the year. So I don't know if I want to use touchdowns as the reason for taking Adams over Mike Evans, because I do think that could be a little bit noisy. But again, we're splitting hairs here. I'm literally talking about flipping a weighted coin, 155 side, 145. And you got to give me a little bit of grace here. This is my third draft of the year. I'm dumb as a doorknob. Can't even share the full draft board. Forgive me for not having a hyper nuanced take on Mike Evans versus Davante Adams on March 11th, 2026. Go AZ Cards. This is a fun one. Who is your sneaky offense that will outproduce projections? Well, first of all, I don't know if I've actually poured over season-long projections yet, as far as some of the cheap offenses. Generally, you're wanting to look at it through the lens of a quarterback that you could build around here. It's so funny because so many of the names are the same ones as last year. Bryce Young, Cam Ward. Hang on one sec. We are on the clock here. I do remember last week getting boxed out at quarterback here. So let's go ahead and we'll take naked Drake Maye for now. But I don't want to get fully shut out. This was the side of the board where if you pass here at the 6-7 turn, it starts to get pretty gross here. So we're looking at Caleb, Herbert, Lawrence, Dak. We do have Goff in our back pocket. His ADP is 105. We pick at like 96, so we could reach for him there. Yeah, maybe we don't need to do another quarterback here. We can see if we can hit this pocket with either Brock Purdy or Jared Goff later. Do we want to do Fannin again? We can do Fannin again. So by ADP, Metcalf, Michael Wilson would have been the other two I would consider. I don't like what happened with Jaylen Warren here. Now just running back the Najee battles, the Gainwell battles, and now it's just the Rico battles. Parker Washington seems way overly inflated to me. I don't really want to pay that. I guess I could have done like Ramondre with May. All right, here's the team so far. Because you can't see it otherwise. Drake Maye at quarterback, Jahmyr Gibbs, Josh Jacobs at running back, Nico, Jamo, and Mike Evans at wide receiver, Harold Fannin at tight end. Fairly balanced here. Pete going with the new guy routine this morning. I mean, I would be pretending if I acted like I do this draft board inside and out. I can try to. I can fake it. You want me to fake it? I can fake it. Yeah, here you go. Here's crutches. I had 40% Davante last year and 0% this year. There you go. Sinatra says, hey, man, I just broke up with my ex last night. This really helps keeping me sane, trying to gamble less. So this really helps. If this comment is in earnest, I will say, I'm sorry, dude. That is no fun. That is no fun to feel heartbreak, and happy to be a distraction here. Just a new guy drafted his third best ball team of the year. G Money, I don't get why Scatabo is going before Henderson. Yeah, I'm with you. I think the Scatabo stuff feels incredibly fragile. Not only do you have the injury stuff, Tyrone Tracy is solid. The Giants were rumored to be in the mix for Kenneth Walker. I think even when those rumors don't come to fruition, you always got to be concerned about the intent there. They could clearly be looking to add someone in the draft. Didn't they bring back Singletary as well? Did they bring back Motor? The Scatabo stuff feels very frothy to me. Yeah, I like this take as far as undervalued offenses, the Saints. ETN isn't going to be, cheap. He goes in the third round here, but Shuck is cheap. Where's Olave going in these? Where's Olave? Why can't I see him? Oh, there he is. No. Oh, yeah. Third round pick. So, yeah, I mean, those guys aren't cheap. So I guess the question is, who are the Saints pieces you're excited about here? That's my only issue with the Saints being undervalued. It's really just saying Shuck's undervalued. But like from a backstack perspective, is there Are we getting excited about ancient Jawan Johnson, Devon Vele? I don't know. I don't know if they have the pieces to line up for like an exciting backstack offense. Oh, look at Walter. Walter's found a way to reframe his question. Look at this. Good job. I keep saying Walter. Water droplets. Can you make the camera bigger? We can still see the draft board. Sure. You just want full screen, Pete? Water droplets. I think you might be on an island here. All right. I'm going to do Brock Purdy here. Got that one in under the wire. Someone had taken Jared Goff from me here. Mr. Mufasa knew Jared Goff was on my radar and took him. So I grabbed Brock Purdy to stack with Evans. I now have two quarterbacks here. Drake Maye and Brock Purdy will be on the clock here in the early 9th. 2-2-3-1. At first, I was thinking maybe I'd do like a Laporta Goff thing and just go all in on the Lions. You know what? Let's get our stack here. We'll pull up. We're going to pull up Romeo Doubs. We have Drake Maye. It's a little bit ahead of ADP by rank. It's right there at where ETR and Leg Up have him ranked. And, just trying to think through my stacking options with New England, basically Hunter Henry, Booty left. So we will spend that turn stacking Drake Maye to Dobbs and Brock Purdy to Mike Evans. No rookies for me yet. I can give you guys some of the price watch on rookies. You had Mekhi Lemon going at 56. Tyson went at 6'7", and Carnell Tate goes at 6'4". So Lemon in the 5th, those other two guys in the 6th. Jeremiah Love went where he tends to go there, beginning of the 2nd round, pick 14. Jadarian Price just went at pick 100. Is he the RB2 off the board as far as rookies go? I don't see any other rookie running backs who went ahead of him. That's kind of a bummer for this class. If the first rookie running back going off the board isn't until pick 100, or sorry, the second off the board, kind of a testament to this draft class. Yeah, I don't mind the Titans one again. I think Cam Ward flashed enough there. Wan'Dale Robinson is there. Romeo Doubs. It would still be nice if he had an alpha there as opposed to a bunch of like wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 archetypes. But I could see it. I'm making the drafters tell Walter/Water their picks. I like Wan'Dale. I've been a Wan'Dale guy for a while. I once famously had a bet with Karain like 3 years ago on Wan'Dale Robinson versus Darius Slayton fantasy points. I've always been team Wan'Dale. Stop it. You kids. Ralish, joining late. Have any free agents signed yet? Do you mean like officially signed? I don't even think, aren't we still in the legal tampering period where nothing is official? Hence why the Ravens were able to back out. I guess that was a trade. That wasn't free agency. But I don't think anyone is officially signed yet. I am kind of surprised that more players don't just go full heel. And obviously you would burn a lot of goodwill, but you have like the handshake agreement and then you essentially create the market and then go around and be like, hey, anyone want to pay more than this? I am kind of surprised we don't see that happen more. All right. We are back, about to be on the clock at 1:19. Should I get a rookie? Let's do it. Can we do some KC Concepcion? I think last time I took Denzel Boston, you guys all schooled me on him. But KC, I mean, he's supposed to be what? A back end of round 1 pick? That seems fun, right? Let's do it. I mean, if we have historically always paid more than a top 100 pick for a round one NFL draft pick, like it is almost a virtual lock. If you are drafted in the first round as a wide receiver in this era of best ball drafting, you will be a top 100 pick. All right, what do I want to do here? Where's Jawan Jennings going to sign? Or should we get another rookie? Should we get a rookie running back here? Let me do a little rookie chasing. I'll take Jonah Coleman. So we go back-to-back rooks there at the 10-11 turn. You know what I need to pull up? I need to pull my notes on these guys that you guys helped me flesh out last week. I need to remember my notes. Where was this document I made? I don't even remember. What did I name this document? I can't even find it. What were the cliff notes on Jonah Coleman? Jake, Pete, where are the RB points? What's wrong with this RB? I have 2 in the first 26 picks. And then Jonah Coleman. Am I that down bad at running back? Did I get too distracted? I think it's fine. We'll definitely be spray and praying here in the middle rounds. We'll do a little mixing of some veterans with some rookies. I think we're fine. I felt last week that I played too fast and loose with quarterback, and I really didn't like my QB3 options at the end of drafts. I think I'd rather get shut out at like mid-tier running back than I would mid-tier quarterback. 3 down back, low center of gravity, a little Maurice Jones-Drew vibes there for Jonah Coleman, according to TD Mr. Mufasa. Thank you. What quarterback would I like to start in Arizona? I mean, obviously, Jacoby Brissett. I mean, Jacoby Brissett was a godsend for fantasy football. He's awful for the Cardinals' chances of being a playoff team. Like, if your franchise is going back-to-back years starting Jacoby Brissett, I mean, you are in the dictionary definition of purgatory. But for fantasy, letting Jacoby Brissett chuck it 50 times a game, it's awesome. I'm actually kind of surprised he's so cheap. Jacoby Brissett, ADP of 179. Let him cook. All right. Let's get ready here. This draft is ripping. We are about to pick at the 12-13 turn. Denzel Boston is really falling. We could be looking at another tight end selection here, potentially. Man, what do we want to do here? Should we just get another rookie running back? We need some cracks here, right? Should we take Emmett Johnson? Jake's got me in my head about these running backs now. And then probably a tight end. I do, actually, I might have to keep doing my Travis Hunter bullshit. Best available by ADP, Shakir, Ferguson, Debo, Rashid Shaheed, Goddard, Benson, Jawan Johnson, Rashad White. I don't want to take Khalil Shakir on this team. I have 5 solid wide receivers. I think it's basically tight end. We could double stack May with Henry. We could do Goddard, who hasn't signed yet. Fuck it. Give me Travis Hunter. I'm going to keep Travis Hunter maxing here. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to keep doing it. I got to give it to the Travis Hunter is a DB bros. They're winning the ADP war right now. Now it's a long off season. And all it takes is one Gladstone blurb about, actually, we want to play Travis Hunter a little bit more on offense now that we think about it. Then all of a sudden he'll be going at pick 90. There is no player on Underdog whose ADP can move from a single sentence or soundbite more than Travis Hunter. It's absolutely incredible. I'm going to just keep doing it. All right, here's the team through 13 rounds. Drake Maye and Brock Purdy at quarterback, #exciting whites. Running back, Jahmyr Gibbs, Josh Jacobs, and then a couple of rookies, Jonah Coleman and Emmett Johnson. Wide receiver, Nico Collins, Jamo, Evans, Doubs, Casey Concepcion, Travis Hunter, and then tight end Harold Fannin. I mean, I like my wide receivers. I really do. Nico, Gam, Jamo the man, Mike Evans, Gam, Romeo Doubs, Sneaky, Casey Concepcion, future first-round pick, Travis Hunter, defensive back. Not bad. Not bad. I just completely disagree with this comment. If the Jags aren't trading BTJ, there's no upside for Hunter. Hunter was a more reliable target earner on the field last year than BTJ. BTJ was awful last year. I'm more concerned that BTJ is fully cooked than I am about Travis Hunter. I think the Hunter or the BTJ price is wild. Where is he going here? I do think a change of scenery would be good for Brian Thomas, but man, paying pick 59 for him after that season he's coming off of, that feels like just putting your head in the sand and martingaling something that does not deserve to be martingaled. The new guy has hot takes. Jason says, if the Jags hate BTJ, they're not going to keep him just out of spite and not play him. They played him plenty last year. Playing time was not the issue for Brian Thomas. He was getting out-targeted for long stretches by Parker Washington, by Brenton Strange. He was not earning targets. Yeah, same for Ladd. No, 100% agree. I'm not a Ladd guy. I mean, Ladd at the end of the season was barely separating from Trey Harris and Oronde Gadsden from target share and was behind Keenan Allen, obviously, and QJ. All right, let's see here. What do we want to do? Debo? Ooh. Let me get my guy Tajay Spears again. I think I took him last week. I think he's a good veteran to sprinkle in here on this team. And again, if we are in on the Titans offense, I kind of like placing bets on the cheaper younger back over Pollard. I don't think I need any of these wide receivers here. Is there any other stacking stuff I should consider? I could just rip in Jacoby Brissett here and be done at quarterback. Penix now in a quarterback battle with Tua. I do think it could get kind of yuck for me if I push QB3 anymore. I feel like these tight ends are all pretty flat, and I could grab a couple of them at the end. Let's do Jacoby. I don't have any stacking, but Jacoby Brissett as a QB3 feels right. Parker Washington to the moon. I mean, his ADP is already to the moon. I don't know how much more jet fuel you need in those rocket thrusters to get him past where he's at now. Parker Washington at pick 81. I mean, do you really want Parker Washington over some of these other guys? I mean, I guess. I don't know. Give me Jordan Addison over him. Give me Xavier Worthy over him. Give me Romeo Doubs. Give me Jaden Reed. I don't know. I think Parker Washington's a good player, but it has that DeMario Douglas feel to it, where there are these good players and there's certain stretches of football where they've proven that they can earn targets, but it's a more volatile situation than the sample size would suggest. That's how I feel about Parker Washington. But if you believe that Travis Hunter is a defensive back and that Brian Thomas Jr. is getting traded, then sure. I guess I can buy the bullishness. But man, it feels like you're paying the top. Like, I guess the underdog market always double counts everything. So if Brian Thomas does get traded, Parker Washington will probably inch up a little bit. But how much higher can he go? How much higher can Parker Washington go from here? That's my thing. Price set is ceiling. Hi, Peter. What is your favorite animal? I haven't really contemplated this question for a long time. As a kid, I used to always say cheetah. I thought cheetahs were cool because of how fast they were. But I don't know if I have you know what? My favorite animal to watch at the zoo, I love watching the gorillas. So fun. I could just pop an edible and watch the gorillas at the zoo for about 6 hours. That sounds like a great afternoon to me. Look at Go AZ Cards. Go AZ Cards is like the shadow producer around here. Anytime the new guy's running out of hot takes, my producer just comes in and says, hey, let's talk about what players coming off an injury last year are you worried about? It's a great question. Who are some of the players coming off an injury last year? Producer, can you feed me some names? Who is coming off of an injury? There were a lot of players who missed a chunk of the season and then came back. I mean, we talked about Scatabo. Scatabo's an easy one. Very, very scared to have to pay this price with the injury uncertainty. That one scares me. Mahomes, I think Mahomes will be fine. Dimes is a little scary. He already kind of needed the perfect storm last year. Kittle, yeah, maybe I'm just so Kittle-pilled and just think he's such a gam that it won't matter and that he'll recover. Dude's always played through a lot of different injuries and has been fairly productive that I worry a little less about him than other people. Neighbors is a good one. Neighbors is a good one because the price demands that he's just fully recovered. I mean, I guess if there was no injury, he'd probably be going top 7 or 8, but the discount you're getting on that is really small. All right, let's make a pick here. We're probably looking at running backs or tight ends. Should we do a little? I mean, David Njoku should be signing here, right? I think he's got a little life in him. Does David Njoku have a little life in him? Tight end 2, come on down. Oh, wow. We are at the point where these running backs, these are names. These are names for sure. But we're fine, right? Gibbs, Josh Jacobs, Jonah Coleman, Emmett Johnson, Tajay Spears. We can get one or two more. We're at 3-5-6-2 right now with 4 picks left. Definitely going to add another tight end. Definitely going to add another running back. Probably one more wide receiver. And then it's either do we need a 4th tight end or a 7th running back? Probably a 7th running back. Can anyone talk me out of drafting Dalton Schultz? Can anyone talk me out of drafting Dalton Schultz? I guess not. I guess not. Dalton Schultz, tight end 3, come on down. Harold Fannin, David Njoku, Dalton Schultz. I wish I had takes on Jonathan Brooks. What's the latest on him? What's the latest on the Jonathan Brooks injury timeline? Is he playing? Is he practicing? We got something from March 1st. Now, last time I went to one of these godforsaken sites, it was the Nittany Lions one, where I had zero information on who was it, Katron Allen or whatever. I swear to God, if Panthers Wire rugs me with a slideshow, I'm going to lose my goddamn mind. The Carolina Panthers may be able to roll out a game-changing weapon this upcoming season. ESPN insiders Jeremy Fowler and Dan Graziano have dished out their latest news and notes, blah, blah, blah. He writes, I'm told Brooks is making good progress in his rehab and was up over 21 miles per hour on a treadmill in a recent workout. Nothing makes me feel more confident about a selection than knowing that they can run fast on a treadmill in March. Jesus. Carolina is at least hopeful that Brooks can contribute this season, though obviously his health history will always make that a question. I think I'm going to need more than running fast on a treadmill, guys. I think I'm going to need a little bit more before I'm back in on the Brooks train. ADP of 157. ETR leg up, have him aggregated at 178 ranking. So, I mean, early season drafting, we've talked about this ad nauseum, trying to avoid zeros, not taking Jonathan Brooks right now at 150 seems like a decent way to avoid taking a potential zero. All positive for Brooks. You're going to have to send me more clips than the treadmill thing. If this is where all the positivity is coming from, is him running fast on a treadmill, I need more. Look, hey, I'm a slappy at heart. If you give me some real positive news fodder, I'll eat that right up. Nom, 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 nom. But that blurb I just read was not it. That was not the Jonathan Brooks confident booster I needed. All right, I need some more coffee though here. Three more picks. You guys got some sleepers for me here? You guys got a running back? I need to pull a running back out of the hat. We also have one more wide receiver we could potentially take. Is there anything with this is where my stacking brain is so off right now. Kendrick Bourne. Do you do Kendrick Bourne? Let's see here. ACR likes Claiborne. LeKent Allen honestly isn't a bad play there either. Let's do Allen. I think we might be able to do two of these. They were using Allen in some of those pass catching scenarios, even last year with ETN and Tootin both healthy. I have Hunter on this team, so now I have one player on each side of the ball for the Jags. Yeah, Fatty, Bourne's kind of intriguing, right? More so just because I have Jacoby Brissett. We have two more picks. Is anyone going to take Bourne? I doubt it. No one. He's barely even ranked, so we could sit on that. Why don't we get Claiborne here? I don't know anything about Claiborne. Someone give me the cliffs there. Let me go check out the Fantasy Life Supermodel here. Also, speaking of Fantasy Life stuff, we have our draft guide up. It's so slick. You can come in here. You can go look by position. We got the mock drafts in here. We got the supermodels. Very slick new rollout here. So I can head over to running back. Looks like we got Jonah Coleman, number 2. Here's the the byline on the guy I drafted. Washington fire hydrant back whose power, patience, and pinball contact balance make him a rare every down banger. All right, I like it. And then here's my Claiborne, RB7 here for us. Wake Forest Jitterbug, whose efficiency climb, TD nose, and teleporting jump cuts make him more than just a compliment. 5'10", 195 here. Rookie model rating of 64. Ooh, I do like this. Has a little receiving potential in the kick return resume. That was one of the OG super cool studies on RotoViz back in the day when they discovered a direct correlation between special teams usage, specifically, punt returning, kick returning, as a future indicator of fantasy performance that was not often baked in to just draft capital. And it makes sense, right? Just showing that added versatility in the prospect profile, giving them more outs to fantasy relevance. All right, we have one more pick here. We're going to land the plane. We have a 3-7-6-3. I was kind of eyeing Bourne here. Yeah, if we look at Cardinals, so obviously you have Marvin Harrison, you have Michael Wilson, and then Bourne, essentially the wide receiver 3 right now. Bourne's, again, kind of falls in that bucket of guys who has just always been solid when given the opportunity here. Do I need to know anything about Kendrick Bourne here on the news front? 49ers wide receiver signing 2-year deal with division rival. Two-year contract there for Kendrick Bourne. Yeah, I don't mind it. We took Jacoby Brissett. What else are we gonna do here? You could do Tongas as part of my Brock Purdy stack, but I think I'm fine at tight end. Fannin Njoku Schultz is perfectly fine. 3-7-6-3. I mean, the other wide receivers, this is like just complete veteran slop here at this stage. Darnell Mooney, Darius Slayton. Why not Kendrick Bourne? Why not? All right, here's the team. 3-7-7-3. Drake Maye, Brock Purdy, and Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. 7 running backs, Jahmyr Gibbs and Josh Jacobs up top. We come back with Jonah Coleman, Emmett Johnson, Tajay Spears, LaKent Allen, and how do you even say that name? Demond? Is it Demond Claiborne? I keep wanting to say Desmond. Demond? Is it Demond? Someone help me. Demond Claiborne. And then you got Nico Collins, JMO, Mike Evans, Romeo Doubs, KC Concepcion, Travis Hunter, Kendrick Bourne, Harold Fannin, David Njoku, Dalton Schultz. So we do stack up each of our quarterbacks with one of their pass catchers, 2 kind of volume workhorses up top at running back, and then some spray and pray with 3 rookies, and then Spears and Allen. Wide receiver room looks solid to me. Tight end room, we get a little bit of upside there with Fannin, and then hoping to bank a decent landing spot with Njoku. Oh, I need to get the Emmett Johnson blurb here too. Emmett Johnson, 5'11", 200 pounds, Nebraska zone maestro, whose vision, finishing mentality, and breakout receiving flashes made him conference running back of the year. He notched a 4.29 short shuttle. He's been one of the best receiving backs in the class, 16% best season target share. So speed isn't everything for his archetype. By the way, I'm going to drop a link to this in the chat. FantasyLife.com. Just go to the NFL draft guide drop down, and you guys can peruse through this as well. Good stuff there. Nova, check out my team in the 3-hole. I don't know, man. Everyone's been able to see this one all stream. Water Droplets knows this team inside and out. It's the teams in the 11 and 12 hole that we really need to shout out because they're Their first 2.5 picks were obstructed. Puka, Derrick Henry, Chase Brown, Burden, Loveland, Marvin Harrison, Caleb Williams, Wan'Dale Robinson, Matthew Stafford, Jaden Higgins, Tyrone Tracy, Boston, Rashad White, Goddard, Tucker, Pacheco, Barner, Branch, Rogers, Vele. As a new guy around here, I'm not ready to start saucing. I'm just like, everything is like, I don't know, looks good. Yeah, man. Nice work. Looks good to me. I mean, there's nothing more peak slap than going Burden, Loveland, Caleb. Actually, maybe I do have a roast in me. Burden, Loveland, Caleb Williams. Marvin Harrison, anytime you can draft the Cardinals wide receiver 3 at pick 70, you got to do it. All right, let him cook. Let him cook. Wan'Dale Robinson, a guy who perennially goes at pick 170 in every single BBM. Definitely got to take him at 94. And then, yeah, let me just take 4 straight guys who don't even have a team right now. Boston, Rashad White, Dallas Goedert, Sean Tucker. Seems great. Pacheco, yeah. The guy who couldn't beat out Kareem Hunt. For sure, got to lock him up. Definitely got to lock him up. Aaron Rodgers, yeah, I mean, just perfectly cromulent QB3 there. Got to take naked Aaron Rodgers for those points. Did you say thanks before I started roasting you? It is true. Emmett is a pretty great running back name there. Pretty good. Should we draft another one here? Should we do another? Let's do it. Man, the big board. Big board is at 60%. This fill closes at 423. I believe, what is that, the Thursday night of the draft? All right, 4 more. Let's draft another big board. Let me, I got to remember to name my teams too. See, there's nothing that I love naming my teams. I hate naming them after the fact. Like if I have a bunch of teams that I have to go back and name, then I'm, this was from 3-2 BBB and I don't even remember what it was, but we'll just save that. I do think I got some nice CLV. So I drafted Kenneth Walker on this team. I got him at 27. Did we get any other CLV? Oh yeah, I took DJ Moore. DJ Moore at 99. Not bad. This was my first draft. Derek Carr. Oh, I took Kenneth Walker on both teams. Not bad. Not bad. I think so. Right now, I'm at 100% Travis Hunter exposure. Don't ask me how that feels. Don't ask me. All right. Draft number 4 of 2026 for me is about to commence. I should also mention, and yes, I'm finally not in the top 3. We can draft from the middle part of the board here. We're going to draft tomorrow on ship chasing. We're bringing back ship chasing Thursday afternoons. That was kind of our time slot last off season. Took a little bit of break. The fellas have been doing ADP chasing on Tuesday nights. I'm about halfway through their show from last night. I just got the audio up for that if you guys want to check that out. Ben goes wild with the Influencer 101. Want to move the camera to the other side to really tilt, Walter? Where are you, Walter? I appreciate constructive criticism, feedback that's delivered in an honest, earnest way. But if you call me a fucking doorknob, I'm going to make your life miserable. All right. Who even goes at pick 5? Oh, I'm going to get one of the receivers. That is a nice little tier break, I think, right? Bijan Gibbs, and then you have Puka, Chase, JSN. And then it's like another little tier gap down to the Taylor, CMC, Lamb, Amon-Ra. And then I think there's a break there. And then you're to Cook, Genty, Achane. Man. Justin Jefferson, man. I don't know about that one. All right, we take JSN. JSN, come on down. Rank those 3 wide receivers. For me, I think it's Chase, JSN, Puka. In that scenario where the aliens come down and they say, how do you rank these in this hypothetical head-to-head best ball draft we're about to do? Chase is going to have a massive bounce back year, full year of health with Burrow. The defense is still going to probably be mediocre. JSN is just so fucking good. And we've already kind of seen stretches from Puka of when they have slight offensive philosophy shifts. We had the stretch with the 3 tight end personnel. We had the stretch where Davante Adams was getting make-a-wish touchdowns at the goal line. I think Corum can take another leap this year. But again, I'm just absolutely splitting hairs. I think Puka's really good. I do also think a lot of his value is driven through receptions, which are obviously a little less of a priority here on a half-point PPR site, which people do forget underdog is half-point PPR. I mean, JSN just had one of the most insane seasons as far as air yards and ADOT. The big plays for both Chase and JSN, I think, tilt me in that direction. All right, we are back on the clock. Have I gotten a Trey McBride yet? Trey McBride, top pick by ADP, top by rank. Let's do it. JSN, Trey McBride, 1-2. Going elite tight end never feels good structurally. You'll always feel behind the 8 ball at one position or another. But sure, why not? JSN, Trey McBride, that was like the GOAT, like 2-3 turn picks last year. And now you got to go get him at 1-5 and pick 20. Over Bowers. Yeah, I mean, I think Bowers is like a slightly better talent, but I still think McBride has the better setup. I mean, there's volatility with the quarterback stuff with Bowers for sure. I mean, we all hope Mendoza is an upgrade on what they had last year, but there's no guarantee. And if McBride gets another season of Jacoby Brissett, who treated him like the only man on the planet when they were playing together, I think it's close, though. I honestly don't feel strongly. I think I took Bowers on one of my teams last week. Sun God 1 is just wrong. Oh, saying Amon-Ra going round 1 is wrong? Yeah. Geez, man. This is really putting things to the test for my Bucky love. Actually, let's do Breece. Let's do Breece. Yeah, let's have that conversation about Bucky. So they bring in Kenny Gainwell, which feels like a direct replacement on Rachaad White. But Kenny Gainwell, I think, at least what we saw last year, has way more juice than Rachaad White. I mean, Bucky has been a solid fantasy producer, even with Rachaad White having kind of an annoying high-value touch role. Gainwell could be a heightened version of that. I think he could be really, really annoying. Breece Hall in a much worse offense. But is there optimism that Geno Smith, back in the green, could bounce back a little bit? It's very close. Here's another ADP twins. Which one are you guys on the side of? Breece Hall or Bucky Irving? Don't say the bullet. You got to choose one. Breece Hall or Bucky Irving? Breece Hall definitely going to catch more passes. I mean, Breece Hall's the better talent. Like, if you put these guys both in the nutted situation, I think Breece Hall scores more points. But the New York Jets are not the nutted situation. Man, I was actually looking forward to taking Garrett Wilson. I was like, all right, let's just Jets max. Let's be Geno Jesters and Jets max. And I couldn't do it. I'm going to do Igbukah. I still think my favorite pick in this range is probably JMO, but it's showing a decent amount of confidence by the Bucs and Igbukah. I mean, the run out at the end of the season was pretty concerning for Igbukah, if we're being completely honest and unbiased here after I select him. But no Mike Evans. Godwin's never been a picture of health. McMillan and Tez Johnson, have defined roles. Like, they need Igbukah to be the alpha there. It's just the anchoring effect to how it transpired. Like, imagine if Igbukah had the start to the season that he did at the end. Basically the typical rookie wide receiver trajectory where all the production was backloaded. I mean, he'd probably be going in the third round had he finished like that, as opposed to running so hot at the beginning of the season with touchdowns. Man, Burden goes at pick 40 in this draft. The Bears stuff, people watched that first draft where the 3-hole was able to get Burden and Loveland on this side of the board, and they said, no. I'm pulling Colston Loveland up to 37, and I'm grabbing Burden at 40. Should I let my slap flag fly with a little tootin'? I don't think I want to get fully shut out of running back in this range. And we already talked about reservations with both Scatterbo and Judkins. Let's pull Tootin up here. So the average rank across ETR and leg up for him is 51. I take him at 53, and the ADP is 64.6. I mean, it's definitely a fake ADP because people are drafting him higher than that. But just trying to not get fully boxed out at running back. I mean, you see here, like, yeah, there's names. Like, I don't mind Montgomery on Houston. Harvey seems fine. You can, do a little stuff with the veterans, Warren, Ramondre, but man, again, it's that tight end pick, right? You really feel it when you have that tight end there instead of the running back. I could have taken Henry. I could have taken ETN, Jacobs, Chase Brown. So I guess those are like the 2v2 decisions from that side. Like, what do you like better? Trey McBride and Tootin versus it would be, let's say, Derrick Henry and I don't know. I guess there's not another tight end that makes that 2v2 super clean. But let's just say Waddle. I like Waddle fine. Although the Malik Willis stuff isn't great for him. So yeah, let's just say that. What side do you like better? McBride Tootin versus Derrick Henry Waddle, or insert your favorite wide receiver who went after pick 53. Do we think Gainwell hits Bucky that hard? I don't. I do think he hits him harder than Rachaad White did last year. I mean, Gainwell showed a lot more juice than Rachaad White. And I do think he can come in. He's the kind of guy that can play hurry up situations, where you're not subbing him off the field. He's the kind of guy when you have a big play and you're in the red zone, you don't necessarily have to sub him out either. Like, there's just some of those situational things because Gainwell plays so well in so many different facets that I think it could be annoying. But I don't think it's like some death knell to Bucky. Should we do a quarterback thing here? I continue to like the Jalen Hurts price a good bit here. I think my because I am not fully comfortable in draft rooms right now, like knowing the positional runs and having a intimate familiarity with the ADP pockets, you can see me gravitating to balanced builds right now. 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Just trying to give myself flexibility at these spots. And then as you get more and more comfortable, you start to feel like, okay, I can push running back through this range, or I can push wide receiver through this range. Out of curiosity, where is Baker going as far as with Igbukah? Baker's going at pick 110. And then where's Darnold going if I'm looking for with JSN? Darnold's at 128. And then we know Jacoby with McBride is very cheap. No Sean Tucker goal line vulture is big though. Yeah. I mean, how many TDs did Sean Tucker even vulture last year though? Was it a lot? I don't remember it being a ton. Maybe I'm misremembering that. Let's see. Do I do the Jaylen Warren thing? Do we set up? Man, I don't love this run. Let's see if we set up the Arizona double. Let's grab Michael Wilson here. I do like Michael Wilson a lot. I mean, if we are truly just running back what happened last year with the Cardinals, then Michael Wilson and Trey McBride are phenomenal selections. Now, you could certainly convince me that it won't be exactly like last year. I would buy that. But man, another year with Jacoby just alternating bombs to Michael Wilson and checkdowns to Trey McBride sounds lovely. Bucks offense as a whole, up or down? I mean, you just lost a Hall of Famer, one of the best wide receivers in the league. I think it has to be down. Baker's another year older. He faded down the stretch last year. Like the fantasy ceiling evaporated for Baker down the stretch. I think it has to be stock down. But if you want to spin it for fantasy, maybe things consolidate a little bit more around Godwin and Igbukah. It's a little less spread out. I think they'll be fine, but I have a hard time spinning it. Like, I mean, what are the net addition is you swapped out Gainwell for Mike Evans. Obviously don't play same position, but Gainwell slight upgrade on Rachaad White, lose Mike Evans, big hit. Am I scared Ty Simpson will be the Cardinals QB? I don't think so. I mean, what? They bring in Minshew to be the backup. Brissett. I mean, where's Simpson? Let me check the mock draft. Where is Simpson likely to go? I mean, They don't even have him, so he's not even a round 1 pick. I mean, if we're not talking about a round 1 guy, I don't know if I'm too concerned. Should we get a second quarterback here, or should we get another? Let's get another running back. I think I can't play too fast and loose with running back. Otherwise, I'm going to really not like my room. Let's take Kyle Monunga, a guy I have not taken a lot. And by a lot, it's because I've only done 3 drafts and this is my 4th. But Kyle Monunga, year 2, ascending offense, still going to be in a split with Swift, but already showed that they're willing to trust him at the goal line. He did really well in the game Swift missed and showed he could handle the full load. I mean, still taking a committee back at pick 92 doesn't feel great. But I mean, what are the other options here? I mean, we are in firmly committee and or rookie flyer range. I continue to like Jordan Addison. Like if we're doing Justin Jefferson at pick 14, we can do Jordan Addison at pick 101. We're still talking about Parker Washington. I mean, I said it before. Can Parker Washington pay off this draft cost? Sure. But I think you're paying for close to the ceiling. I think this represents, like, the thought exercise I always like to use is, where do you think you could see us drafting Parker Washington in 2027? Like, do you think Parker Washington could be a 4th round pick in 2027? I have a hard time seeing that. I think it's more likely Parker Washington is a 10th or 11th round pick than a 4th round pick. Whereas Jordan Addison, with his talent profile, what he's done over the years, Jordan Addison is a guy I could easily see us drafting in the 4th or 5th round next year. If it's Kyler and Kyler sticks in Arizona, in Minnesota or whatever. I think Parker Washington's fine. I like Parker Washington. I just don't like this price. Let me make this pick, and then this is always a good conversation to have here. Let's I could do one of 2 things here. Let's do Kyler. Let's do Kyler and play that Kyler to Minnesota, and we'll play that as a take it before it happens stack, Kyler to Addison. So Scorpion says, Pete, what do you think about things like a bunch of people having Tootin in the 8th round? Seems like he's too expensive now, considering the tournament is like 60% filled. To me, that is not a meaningful enough jump to get me off of Tootin. Really, like the ones, there's only been a couple of times in all of, BBM or these tournaments where I've actually been a little spooked. I think the one was the Darrell Henderson year, where he went from like a 15th, 16th round pick to like a 4th or 5th round. But one simple way to look at it too is like, look at the 2v2s here. So Bayshell Tootin, and you said like an 8th rounder. Let's say like Bayshell Tootin and Kyle Monunga, and you're trying to win a 2v2 versus, let's say, what would it be? Somebody has Trevion Henderson and Bayshell Tootin. Like, when you look at the 2v2s in those actual rounds, the gap there is not wide enough to be like, I can never not take this player, basically. I kind of don't know what to do here, so I'm just clicking a name that I've been thinking about a little bit recently. And this is ahead of ADP, but I just took Josh Downs, who I think is, I haven't really heard anyone talk about him. And again, maybe I just haven't been consuming enough content, but pretty big winner with Pittman gone. Because that was really the issue with Downs, was this whole thing of, he's not out there in 3 wide receiver sets. Pittman, he's always getting kind of cannibalized there. But I think he's now that, 1A, 1B complement with Alec Pierce. You can say Tyler Warren as well. But I do think the outlook for Downs has improved in a pretty big way. I mean, we were drafting Downs, pick 90, 95 last year in BBM, like right alongside Pittman. And as I say that, Daniel Jones signs a 2-year, $88 million extension with the Colts. Oh, yes, I apologize. I forgot that Kyler isn't tall and plays Call of Duty. You're right. I take it back. Can I undo the pick? Please. All right, here's the team so far because I've been neglecting the audio listeners. We have Jalen Hurts and Kyler Murray at quarterback. We have 3 running backs. I do not know how I feel about these 3. Breece Hall, Bashal Tutin, and Kyle Monangai. We're at 5 wide receivers: JSN, Ibuka, Michael Wilson, Jordan Addison, Josh Downs, and we got Trey McBride holding it down at tight end. We are back on the clock here. Man, I might eat some of my vegetables. We're setting up this big Arizona stack. Let's do it. I hate it. I just selected James Conner. But I feel like with Breece Hall, Bashal Tutin, and Kyle Monangai, this team needs a strong veteran presence in the best ball locker room. I actually kind of like this fit. Kubiak brings Debo to LV. Las Vegas, I can see that. Danny Dimes, Danny Dalla. GM. Yeah, there's just, when you're worrying about like the CLV stuff, the other thing about it too is, a place that I actually think about it, and we talk about it a lot more, is in the dailies, where, say people were drafting Jahmyr Gibbs because he had a Q tag. This is just a hypothetical, in the 6th round. And then by the end of the slate, right before lock, he's a 1st round pick. Hang on, let me make a pick here. Let's get a rookie. Let's add Emmett Johnson again. Let's add Emmett. I could do like Rashad White, I guess, but I want to have fun. Anyways, I'm talking about the being worried about opponents having a player at a much cheaper price. So in the dailies, you're in one single contest versus all of these teams. It's one slate, one single contest. So those teams who have effectively a 1st round player in the 6th round, that is a massive advantage. By pure projection alone, they're probably out projecting your team by 10 to 12 points in this hypothetical. The way these best ball tournaments work, and with them being 4 isolated tournaments, it changes the dynamics of what super teams mean. Maybe they have a super team in your 12-person pod, but there are still so many different variables, so many other landmine selections, so many other things you have to get right. I mean, you really need that player. Like if 8th round Bashal Tutin, if Bashal Tutin does what Jonathan Taylor did in the regular season, then yes, it will be incredibly hard to overcome not having 8th round Bashal Tutin. But again, now we're stacking up the parlay you have to hit for this to be a must-have piece. You have to have 8th round Bashal Tutin. Well, there's still two more slots to advance out of your pod. And then we know the entire name of the game is when you get into pods in week 15 and 16 that, 50% of the field having 8th round Bashal Tutin now becomes a negative because you don't have a unique differentiator. So just the way these tournaments are constructed, 3 to 4 round jump in ADP, it's a rounding error in the grand scheme of EV accumulation. I really, really wouldn't worry about it. I think it would take like a player moving from the 15th round to the 2nd or 3rd round for me to have, a lot of pause over it. What do I need? Running backs, wide receivers, tight ends. Jeez. I still feel kind of weak at running back, so I'm just going to kind of keep hammering in this range where I haven't been taking. I'm going to do Kamani Vidal. I don't know how I feel about that. I think I'm just trying to add bodies right now. Breece Hall, Bashal Tootin, Kyle Monungai, James Conner, Emmett Johnson, Kamani Vidal. I don't really like that, but I guess at the worst, you're getting just the pure contingent upside, which we saw last year. And at best, maybe we're getting a little standalone role, a little pass catching there. I don't know. It definitely matters, though. A 4-round jump is not nothing. It matters in that it makes your team slightly better. So, I mean, we're talking degrees of how much it matters. I'm saying it doesn't matter that much. It matters, yes, but it doesn't matter that much. Let's see here. Did I lose Brissett? Who took Brissett from me? Did I? Where is Brissett? Why can't I find him? Geez, someone took Brissett from me. And now I'm just panicking. I just took Jerry Jeudy. That's how down bad I am right now. Where the hell did Brissett go? Why can't I find him on this board? Someone took Brissett in the 12th round. X-spin. See, this is where you guys weaponize this against me. Why are we taking? Okay, yes, Marvin Harrison. See, this is just cruel. What's his ADP? 179. And X-spin was like, I have to take him at 136. This is what, don't ever stream your drafts, kids, because your ops will weaponize your yapping against you. Jesus. Imagine taking Tootin in the 8th, DJ Moore in the 9th, and DeMont in the 10th back in January. Sure. But as Tyler said here too, the flip side, we've always talked about this with early drafting. There's pros and there's cons. The pros is you can build these super teams. The cons is that those super teams, as Tyler says here, also have a lot of zeros on them. The lack of information at the time leads you to wild swings in CLV in both directions. You can smash some stuff. You're also going to hit on some massive landmines because the information disparity relative to the people who draft right before the contest closes is so big. Look, we're drafting teams in March. I think it's a fun thought exercise. I'm willing to indulge in this conversation, but I assure you that it doesn't meaningfully change the likelihood of winning a tournament. All right. We are at a 24661. Oh no. Am I going to have to take Gunnar Helm? You know what? My After Dark guest a couple weeks ago, Megan, she was pounding the table there for Pat Fryermuth, which I didn't mind that. Oh my God. All right. I'll do Pat Fryermuth right now. And then I'm going to have to figure out my quarterback 3. So these are my quarterback 3 options right now. JJ McCarthy platooned with Kyler Murray. Ty Simpson, who I've been told is going to be competing with Jacoby Brissett for the starting job. Michael Penix, Geno Smith, take Green. Who the fuck is Green? Who is Green? When I search Green, it's Green Bay. Are you talking about Taylon Green? 2662. 4 more picks. I do kind of like a stab on Terrence Ferguson. Wide receivers, what are we looking at? Running backs, the same guys I took last time. This might have to be a 4-quarterback team. No, I mean, Hurts, Kyler. Here's the team so far. I have 3 more picks. You guys tell me what I need to land this plane or say that it's already crashed and burned. Jalen Hurts and Kyler Murray. This running back room is something else, man. Breece Hall, Bashal Tootin, Kyle Monangai, James Conner, Emmett Johnson, Kamani Vidal. Wide receivers are fine. JSN, Igbuka, Michael Wilson, Jordan Addison, Josh Downs, Jerry Jeudy. Tight ends, Trey McBride, Pat Freiermuth, Terrence Ferguson. So wide receiver, tight end, fine. Running back, quarterback. really productive conversation in the chat. This was my thoughts exactly. Who the fuck is Taylon Green? Three straight running backs. Honestly, I think one of them should be a QB. I think we should take one quarterback flyer. We either lock up the Minnesota quarterback room with McCarthy. I mean, Penix is going to beat out Tua, right? Right. Take the rookie flyer on Simpson. I don't want to fuck around with any of this Anthony Richardson, Justin Fields, Deshaun Watson shit. Yeah, the question is which quarterback? Just take Penix. You guys want Simpson? I think I honestly might go for 4 quarterbacks. There's Ty Simpson. Let me get the scouting report on Ty Simpson. I could text Derek Carr again and be like, "Hey, buddy, any updates? Any updates? Because I'm in rough shape in this draft." Former 5-star who stabilized Alabama's offense, but his profile screams solid day 2 project, not franchise elevator. Yikes. All right, let's draft another quarterback here. Do we go JJ McCarthy or Michael Penix, guys? Or am I overreacting? Am I fine? Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray, Ty Simpson? Man, I really don't. All right, let's do Penix. We're just going to spray and pray at quarterback. God, this is a weird team. This thing feels fully like Frankenstein together. Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray, Ty Simpson, Michael Penix. All right, so I think we need a wide receiver, right? I think we're just going to rock with this running back room. I think we need a wide receiver. What's the deal with Darnell Mooney? Released by Atlanta. Chris Bell, rookie. Cooper Kupp, Slayton. Who's my wide receiver pick? Man. Dotson? Why? Yeah, I don't mind Wicks. I don't mind Mooney. Why are you guys saying Dotson? Did he just sign somewhere? Signing with Falcons. Oh, God, I know. But, man, Dotson has had so many chances. So many chances. Yeah, I mean, the correlation. I'd rather just draft someone who's at least been good at some point. Trust me, I'm a correlation slappy, but is there anything on Philly? I'm putting you in timeout for this comment, and when you come back, you better be better. I think someone just take. All right, let's do it. We'll slap it up. Oh, wow. Last second, I was going to do Wicks over Mooney, but I did Mooney. I did the anti-correlation where I draft. Normally you draft Mooney with Penix before, and then you're like, oh shit, lost that stack. I do it after the fact. Michael Penix to Darnell Mooney phantom stack. All right, here's this team, and I don't know about this one, guys. I do not know about this one. 4, 6, 7, 3. Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray, Ty Simpson, Michael Penix. Breece Hall, Bashal Tootin, Kyle Monangai, James Conner, Emmett Johnson, Kamani Vidal. JSN, Emeka Egbuka, Michael Wilson, Jordan Addison, Josh Downs, Jerry Jeudy, Darnell Mooney, Trey McBride, Pat Freiermuth, Terrence Ferguson. I don't know. It's almost like a guy who has only drafted 4 teams. That's what that team looks like. That's what that one looks like. You guys want to do one more, or do we want to move on with our lives? If we do one more, I need to go to the bathroom. Yeah. Worse teams, better teams. Gee, buddy, I was just joking around about Ty Simpson. I didn't think you'd do it. No joking around in the chat. I'm in Ron Burgundy mode. I will read the teleprompter. I will take the suggestion. I'm putting my trust in you. I got people out here calling me a doorknob, joking, joshing picks to the people. Man, Greg, what is your favorite breakfast chain in your go-to breakfast order? So this is not going to be a fun question or response because I very, very rarely eat breakfast, just in general. And if I am eating breakfast, it's probably like out at a brunch and not at a chain. So this is like I've never had a Taco Bell breakfast. I've never had a Wendy's breakfast. Like the only fast food chain where I can actually think where I've had breakfast is McDonald's. Like I like the McDonald's hash browns. The flapjacks or whatever are fine if you put enough syrup on it. Honestly, my favorite breakfast chain is probably one I've never been to during the morning. I like Waffle House. Waffle House, I've had a few drunk nights at a Waffle House, and man, that slapped. I wish I had something more for you. What are even the other options? What breakfast chain? I guess you're including like Denny's and IHOP. I was thinking like fast food. I'm not like a Denny's guy. I went there a lot in college. Like it'd be a place you'd go that was open 24/7 so you could study and eat. Get like the lumberjack platter or whatever. I think I'd take Waffle House over IHOP and Denny's. What is your honest view of Dunkin Donuts? I think it's trash. I think their coffee tastes burnt. I like just doing black coffee, so I need the coffee to be good. Like people who go to Dunkin', here's the thing that you need to know about Dunkin'. If you order a coffee at Dunkin', they default to assuming you want cream and sugar in it. You have to tell them plain black coffee, nothing in it. Like they will load that thing up. The donuts are mediocre at best, bad normally. I would never touch one of their whatever breakfast sandwiches. The munchkins are probably the one serviceable thing. Those are the little donut holes. Those are like fine. But I am like I have to be down bad to go to a Dunkin's. But God, you guys are going to make me hungry for breakfast. When we were in San Diego, or not in San Diego, in Los Angeles over the weekend for the dog bowl, they had brunch for the dog bowl, and I had 2 plates, and I was enjoying it. They had really good sausage, bacon. They had the hash browns, like McDonald's style hash browns, housed a few of those with a bunch of ketchup. I had some kind of, what kind of muffin did I have? Like a coffee cake muffin. My favorite breakfast food, though, is a waffle. Banana syrup on a waffle, like that's my jam. Big waffle over pancakes guy. High-end chains. What's a high-end breakfast chain? Okay, now we're talking. Like, yeah, all time like breakfast burrito. My spot in San Diego, there was this place called Adalberto's. Incredible breakfast burrito. That definitely has to be the top. I didn't even think of breakfast burritos because I can't get a good breakfast burrito around me. Just does not exist in New England. What's your donut? You guys are asking me questions. I don't have a go-to donut spot. There's a place at the end of the street that's like a homemade or just like little diner, mom and pop place that if we have, relatives over or we're hosting, we'll get like a box of donuts there. I'm not a big fan of the voodoo donuts, the performative donut thing. They've done that now with like milkshakes and donuts, where it's like, can we just jam as many goddamn things in this or on top of this as possible so it looks good photographed for your Instagram stories? No. I like a good maple bar, maybe an apple fritter. But again, like I'll never forget. I was probably in my mid-20s. I was at my office job and someone brought in donuts. And it was like the last time I ate a donut without thinking about it, in that I ate it and I remember just feeling so gassed. Like the sugar high came down and I just absolutely crashed. I felt tired, lethargic. And I was like, I can't. I lost my fastball. When you're 18 and your metabolism is just ripping and you could eat 4 donuts and, climb Mount Kilimanjaro, I realized in that moment, my days of eating donuts were over. Now I just stare at a donut and I'm like, I am going to feel miserable later. I'm sorry, guys. I wish I had fun breakfast takes for you. Hopefully that waffle take was a good one. I mean, I still love a good brunch. Like something I love, a little savory, a little sweet. Get me a coffee and a Bloody Mary. I want to be like triple fisting drinks at a good brunch. I want my water. I want my coffee. I want a Bloody Mary. I want my waffle with bananas and syrup on it. I want maybe like an eggs Benedict or a huevos rancheros with a side of hash browns. That's my ideal brunch breakfast there. Oh, Aaron says we're not going to disrespect the Dunkin' steak, egg, and cheese bagel in an airport. Oh, we are absolutely going to disrespect it. Whenever I see a line at Logan for the Dunkin' Donuts in the airport, I just say, go for it. You guys go for it. I've only ever left Dunkin' feeling hopeless. That is so well said. That is so well said. What's your favorite gas station? Oh, no, Tyler, I believe you. Houston. I went to Houston twice, and both times, like the food was incredible. What's the meaning to life? Thoughts on performative cookies like crumble? Yeah, very, very similar thing. Like, I don't know. I just like the classics, you know? Obviously chocolate chip cookie. I'll fuck with a snickerdoodle. I love like white macadamia nut. That one works. But yeah, I don't want all these sprinkles and whatever goddamn other they're putting like things of bacon on it or s'mores. It's like, if I wanted s'mores, I'd go make s'mores. Okay. Maple glaze. Yeah. See the duck donuts, bacon bits. I guess if it's the bits, right? You know, if it's just a tasteful dusting of bacon bits, I don't mind that salty and sweet combination there. But if it's like a full blown piece of bacon on there just to look good for the Instagram photo, I don't know. Stephanie's on Newberry Street brunch. I don't know if I've been there. My wife works downtown by there though. Maybe I'll have to ask her. Yeah, I'm a big Bloody Mary over mimosa guy. For sure. For sure. Yeah, Ghost knows it. Water, caffeine, alcohol, the brunch, holy trinity. Morning margaritas. Nah. I mean, I will say this. So at the dog bowl, the brunch, I did Bloody Mary, and then my next drink was an espresso martini. And for some reason, you know, I associate espresso martinis with like an after dinner at a restaurant drink. You know, you have the espresso martini when you split a dessert with the table. Again, because I don't go to brunch and don't do breakfast stuff often, my brain did not associate an espresso martini with breakfast. And I had one at brunch on Sunday. And man, that was a treat. That was a real treat. Yeah, a cookie should not be 1,200 calories. For sure. For sure. Okay. All right. I think we covered the breakfast stuff. Sorry, I don't have better takes for you guys. There have to be other people with far better breakfast takes than me. I have not eaten anything and it's 11:47 a.m. So this really did a number on me, but we're going to do one more draft and I am going to go to the bathroom here. And we got the 108. We got the 108. So we can actually finally draft from this other side of the board, which I have not drafted from through 4 drafts. Man, every time I think I'm about to get up to go to the bathroom, I get pulled back into this breakfast conversation. Beastburf says, I don't like tomatoes and alcohol together. Generally, I would agree with this take. Absolutely. Like, I'm not a tomato juice guy, but there's something about a Bloody Mary. Specifically, it's a little bit on the spicy side. I like my Bloodies with a little spice. It just the two combinations just cut together perfectly. In isolation, I don't need it, but man, you get that tomato juice in there with the vodka, you're ready to roll. Yeah. Breakfast is overrated. I'm generally with this take. I do like breakfast food, but I just I don't got it in me. All right. I'm going to the bathroom. When I come back, I will hopefully have not missed my pick. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of music though. Give you a little bit of music here. What do you want? You want to feed the ducks, old? Uh-oh. I got timed out. CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb I need to take a running back, though, with one of these next picks. I think I've learned my lesson. All right, let's get the draft board up. I think I have one more coffee pour in me as well. I need the appetite suppressant after all that breakfast talk. All right, Barkley goes. I guess I'm doing Ken Walker. Seems like, I mean, the guys were talking about it a little bit on ADP chasing, how he's likely to continue to rise. I mean, we were mentioning it on the Swolecast yesterday that he's probably likely to end up a 1-2 turn pick. I just think that's naturally where the market will take him. So we'll grab a pick 17 share of Kenneth Walker here to pair with CeeDee Lamb. Christopher Davis, $20, no message. I like that. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Wait, did someone have... I'm only seeing a reaction. Who said the crumble is a Jaden Blue? Let's see that. Yeah, Kitchen's on vacation right now. Who knows the kind of ungodly things Kitchen is eating? Favorite beer not named Modelo. So I won't do another light beer. I'm normally just a light beer guy, but they have it on tap at a lot of places around here. But the Maine Brewing Company, I love a lot of their stuff. Their Peeper Ale and their lunch IPA are some of my favorites. And I'm not even an IPA guy, but Maine Beer Co. is a brewery that I gravitate to. And I like almost all of their stuff. They don't have a huge selection, but I don't think I've ever had a bad beer from Maine Beer Co. So I'll give them a shout. Davis called Shope Kitchen last night. I must not have gotten to that part yet. I still have like half of the episode to listen to. Guinness 101. I mean, that's a bold take. You know, Guinness definitely deserves a place in the brunch breakfast conversation. A well-timed Guinness. I mean, it's the most cliche thing ever, but if you've ever gotten up early to watch a soccer game, like a little bangers and mash and a Guinness with a little footy on, it's ideal. All right, what do we want to do here? Want to get a wide receiver? These are legitimately names I have not seen over here in a while. We can do T. Higgins. Just being on this side of the draft board are so many new names. So we're going to start CeeDee Lamb, Kenneth Walker, T. Higgins. I could have done the Bucky thing. We got some people just ripping in running backs, including Frog Dog out of the 5-hole. Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, Travis Etienne. Leave some running backs for the rest of us. Ooh, Pete, going to SD in a few months. Any other spots to hit besides Ortiz's? Yeah, I mean, yeah, it depends. I mean, there's good sushi, there's good pizza, there's some good Italian stuff. It depends what you're in the mood for. But yeah, I mean, I mentioned the Adalberto's for the breakfast burritos. Ortiz's has the best California burrito in the world, in my opinion. I can give you some other specific recommendations if you hit me up in the DMs. Am I really gonna select Javonte Williams? This feels heartbreaking. This is one of those clicks. This is like this is one of those true moments of growth where I'm like, I have CeeDee Lamb, I need a running back, but God, I can't even look at the screen. I put him in the queue and I'm just going to let it auto and select him. But if I've learned anything over the past couple years, it's that you need to eat your goddamn vegetables. But God, it makes me sick to do it. Javonte Williams at pick 41. I hope this pick ages poorly. I hope that it's an absolute whiff of a selection because I know I'm basically never going to do it otherwise. But for some reason in this moment, I looked at the rank, I looked at my team, I looked at the running back runs happening, and I selected Javonte Williams. But that's growth. That is the most anti-slap thing you can do right now is take Javonte Williams over Luther Burden. I feel sick. I feel like I just ate 4 donuts. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Is this Pete's first draft of the year? This is my 5th draft, but it certainly still feels like my first. Who do I have winning the World Cup? You didn't see my article that I put out with my World Cup rankings? I think England. I always got to root for my Dutch heritage as well, but I don't think they're favorites. All right, see the chat? Everybody's polarized on Javonte Williams. There you go. FV Fantasy's getting all kinds of San Diego Rex in the chat. Drafting Javonte equals eating Taco Bell breakfast. All right, Tootin goes. Looks like this is rookie wide receiver range. Do you know who else? I mean, with Doubs gone, Christian Watson is a pretty big winner, right? I'm going to sit. I don't want to take the first of these 3 rookie wide receivers. Tate, Lemon, Tyson, all still on the board. Let's grab Christian Watson as our wide receiver 3. We go Kenneth Walker, Javonte, CeeDee Lamb, T. Higgins, Christian Watson. I am legit looking to go to one of the games because they're just down the road from me at Foxborough. Although last I looked, there was some big standoff between like the city of Foxborough and FIFA about some kind of, I don't know if it was a license thing or some kind of payment that needed to be made, but there was legitimate doubt on if Gillette and Foxborough were going to be able to host these games. Did they get that figured out? Do you have Mike Evans? I have a hard time taking Christian Watson over him. Mike Evans has been going ahead of Christian Watson in all the drafts I've been doing. I took Mike Evans in my first draft. I guess if it's top ranks, we can do Burrow with Higgins here. Seems fine. Joe Burrow, a mid-6th round pick after the great 4-5 Joe Burrow turn wars of 2025. Right, this is the thing. They can't agree on who's paying for all the World Cup stuff. Unbelievable. That would be a hilarious run out to buy tickets to go watch a game, and then they end up having to move it or whatever. Watson in the 5th feels like the highest he'll go. I mean, didn't I take him like right at ADP? His ADP is 57. His aggregated rank is 56. Do you mean like over the course of the rest of the summer? I think Christian Watson's going to be a staple. Yeah, like the late 4th, early 5th. You know, picture where George Pickens and Cortland Sutton and those guys were all going last year. I mean, that's right there. Let us also not forget, we were drafting Christian Watson at the 3-4 turn after his rookie year. He absolutely scorched the earth down the stretch of his rookie year. Shit ton of touchdowns, and we were drafting him at the 3-4 turn. He came back last year, looked really good, was earning targets at a high clip. They were looking for him in the red zone. Good connection with Jordan Love. No Romeo Doubs. I like Jayden Reed a lot. I'm still a Jayden Reed slappy, but there are no other like significant target earners on that roster right now. I don't really know the holes to poke in Christian Watson. It just feels like a solid ass pick to me. No worries, Willis. Get to that meeting. Tyler's in on Watson. Elite yards per route run, now no Doubs. Yeah, I'm not worried about Golden. And there's room for multiple guys in this offense. Like, but I mean, Watson's that top dog. All right, man. How many times am I going to take Harold Fannin? I'm not taking Parker Washington. We could do Dak with CD if we wanted to mix it up. But, I don't know what I want to do there. I'm like, do I sit on Love? We can push it and see if Dak comes back, because I guess that's right at ADP for Dak. But Love in the back pocket with Watson feels fine. ADP of 107, and we pick at 104. So we can see if we get Dak at 89 or Love at 104, and we'll just keep selecting our duck-footed king. Yeah, I mean, I think drafting early. So Knight's saying through the offseason, don't think I see him steaming up to early round 4, but could just be wrong. I mean, I understand like chasing CLV, and I think there's spots to do that, especially if it's a player you feel queasy about, and so you want to get your exposure before they get more expensive. But like sometimes you just need to take a player who's at fair value, right? It might not be the sexiest thing. All right, so I lose out on Dak Prescott there. Let's go in on Green Bay and see if I can get this to work. I don't necessarily love spending 2 picks on tight end in this range, but let's grab Tucker Kraft and see if we can play for this Love stack. Yeah, I just think a lot of the knocks on Christian Watson have basically evaporated. You know, it's like first he's injury prone. Okay, well, he comes back last year, stays really healthy. And it's like, okay, Christian Watson he's just a big play, boom bust merchant. Well, then he leads the team in target share consistently last year with like pretty good target competition. And now no Romeo Doubs. Even Kraft is coming back off of an injury. They've never given Jayden Reed like more than 60% of the snaps or whatever. I suppose they could take another stab in the draft, but the Packers' MO has been to backfill the position with cheaper picks, especially after the Golden thing. Like I don't think they're coming back to round 1 for a wide receiver this year. I just don't really know what's going to complicate the thesis for Watson at this point. And I love Jordan Love. Like I think Jordan Love is awesome. So yeah, I don't know. I'm in on Watson. Are there any concerns on Kraft right now? I don't know what his current, if there's been any bearish or bullish signs about his recovery. I kind of just blindly clicked that for the correlation. What's up, Colin? Wednesday Best Ball Breakfast. Yeah, as the summer goes on, we'll definitely be adding some more streams on Wednesday, but right now, Best Ball Breakfast will primarily be on Mondays, but was traveling back on Monday from Los Angeles and felt like drafting today after all the free agency stuff. So yeah, Wednesday edition of Best Ball Breakfast here. Will be low, average, or high on Herbert stacks this year. I'll probably be a little bit lower on it, but maybe on the premium side. Like I feel like playing the cheap version of the Herbert stuff would be fun. Like Herbert, Gadsden, Trey Harris, maybe a little KLS if you're feeling frisky. Tyler giving me craft info, slight worry about the meniscus trim, but docs I trust say trim, not repair, so on track. Okay. All right. So now we need to lock up Love here. We're going to lock up Love, our QB2. We get this double stack with Watson and Kraft. So this team is solid at running back and tight end, but we are going to have to basically pull a miracle at running back and wide receiver. I mean, Lamb, Higgins, Watson is a solid top 3. Walker, Javonte. I guess we're fine, but basically went 4 straight onesie positions there in round 6 through 9 with Burrow, Fannin, Kraft, and Love. How am I liking the latest book club selection? Yeah, disbanded talking about the P.O. Box Books Club. Basically been selecting, a book for every month and then sharing it in the newsletter. Right now, reading Lincoln in the Bardo by George Saunders, sorry. And I was about to ditch it, and I've been enjoying it. I'm about halfway done now. There's this thing where he has a bunch of these like ghosts essentially from the cemetery who are like a chorus of voices, and it's very confusing to track at first. But the heart of the story is this, historical fiction of Abraham Lincoln mourning the death of his son. And those sections have been very good. All right. We are about to pick again. This is a tough choice if both Doubs and Reed are available, because Reed completes like a big triple stack here. Doubs, I do think, is a really nice selection here as well. Fuck it. Let's just rip it in on Jaden Reed. We'll go all in on the Green Bay stack here. Watson, Reed, Kraft. The Doubs ADP and rank are going to get closer and closer together, I assume, over the next week or so, with both ETR and leg up being higher on him than ADP. So it was maybe worth it just to see if he would slip through the cracks, but he does not. He goes one pick after. So we have a Jordan Love triple stack. We have Joe Burrow to T. We have CeeDee Lamb and Javonte. So getting a little bit more correlation than I have in some of these other drafts. Chosen Deezer. It's probably too early for planning to be happening, but do you think there's a chance to be on NFL Week 1 YouTube broadcast again? Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't have any insight on that one way or the other. I would love to if the opportunity comes up again. Yeah, I got to talk to those guys again soon. That would be fun. I would love to do it if the opportunity presents itself again. Oh no, we're at this point. Dan is pre-worrying about my quarterback bye weeks. Oh my God, I completely forgot about this being a thing. But being a thing 2 months before the schedule comes out. Now that is rich, Dan. Dan is pre-worrying about me taking a 0 at QB. It's too early. I'm getting too old for this stuff. I'm too old to pre-worry about 0s at QB. Probably need to win a bit more for them to invite you back. Yeah, that's why they invited me to go host, was because of the thousands of dollars I've won playing best ball in battle royales. That was the kind of the resume item. They're like, we need a proven winner. They actually tried to get Shady Advice to come and host it as one of the people who have won the most money playing fantasy sports. And he turned him down. And then they kept going through all of the other Giga Crushers in DFS. And everyone said no until they got to me. And then I was like, fine, I'll do it. They just went down the all-time money earning list in fantasy football. All right, we are back on the clock here. Man, I am going to be up a creek at running back. Holy shit. But this still feels like another wide receiver pick here. I want to keep doing KC Concepcion. I feel like that thesis is strong. If he's a first round pick, there's no way he's going to be going at pick 128. What is the, where do our mocks have him? Shady. That's how you smoke Shady out of the chat. He was busy with a haircut. Where do these mocks have KC going? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, like Friedman has him going to Buffalo at pick 26. What's our guy Gene have him going? Gene has him going to Buffalo. Like, I'm telling you right now, if KC Concepcion goes to Buffalo at pick 26, he's going to be what? What's his closing ADP in BBM? 65, 70? Jake has been so concerned about my running backs through these drafts. So concerned. Actually, I'm concerned this time too. I haven't been concerned until this draft, and now I'm concerned. Let's see here. Sure. Let's do Bill. Week 17. Bill opposite Dallas. Had to slap it up. There, you happy? You happy, Jake? I just added Bill to the squad. I think we're good now, brother. Going to hurt when your RPs have the same bye week. I swear to God, if Washington, KC, and Dallas have the same bye week, here's the team so far through 12 rounds. We have Joe Burrow and Jordan Love at quarterback. We have Kenneth Walker, Javonte Williams, and Bill at running back. We have CeeDee Lamb, T. Higgins, Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, and KC Concepcion at wide receiver. We have tight end Harold Fannin and Tucker Kraft. Green Bay triple stack, Joe Burrow skinny, 2 Cowboys, and a partridge and a pear tree. Schedule for rest of this week. We're still trying to figure out the exact time I'm noticing in my DMs, but should have a ship chasing tomorrow afternoon. Would like to draft with those guys. And then Friday after dark. My guest this week is Kendall Valenzuela. She is one of the awesome analysts over at Fantasy Life. She's done Randomizer with me. She's been on Best Ball Breakfast. I don't know if we've ever done an After Dark. So excited to catch up with her. Obviously, her beloved Seahawks won the Super Bowl. She was out at the Super Bowl with Fantasy Life doing stuff for XM. She's been crushing it for us over at Fantasy Life. So excited to catch up with Kendall on After Dark. If you guys are YouTube members, the Best Ball Value Hounds tier, you get access to all of those shows. I've been doing them on Friday nights. And pretty evergreen conversations as well. Have had some comments of people who have gone back and have been watching old ones. So even if you want to sign up now, they're not, slate specific or newsy type of shows, just catching up with people around the industry. All right, we are about to pick again here. I could go, should I go for complete 100% exposure to Travis Hunter? I kind of want to. I believe I have now taken Travis Hunter in every single one of my drafts, which at this point for the meme, I just want to keep doing it here. Let me go see if this is the case. Did I miss him last draft? Maybe there was one draft I didn't. I think there was one draft I didn't take him, but I can't remember. First draft, Travis Hunter, pick 144. Second draft, Travis Hunter at pick 147. Third draft, Travis Hunter at 146. Oh, I missed him last draft. Okay, so I don't have 100% exposure. I'm going to end up with 4 out of 5. 80%. 80% Travis. I cannot wait to update my exposures and share them on X, the Everything app. Go AZ Cards. You love Fannin. I don't. Yeah, I guess I do. I took him on one. Yeah, I guess I have him. I have 60% Fannin. You're right. I do love him. When a Cleveland quarterback starter is declared, will you stack them with Fannin? Sure. I'm pro stack. All right, let's get a rookie running back in here. Let's take Katron Allen, and do not tempt me with trying to look up information on Katron Allen at this point. Luckily, I have the Fantasy Life draft guide now where I can get my info. See, I need these refreshers. Penn State Bruiser, who's 4,100 yards, contact balance, and leg drive let him outproduce even a blue chip teammate. His tape is loaded with bounce-offs and ricochets as defenders glance off him like bumper cars while he keeps his feet in momentum, often delivering the blow rather than absorbing it. No one writes the great American novel anymore. They just write draft guide blurbs. I mean, that turn of phrase, his tape is loaded with bounce-offs and ricochets as defenders glance off him like bumper cars. That's evocative. That's my RB4. Imagine being worried about a running back room when Katron Allen, a guy who makes defenders bounce off him like bumper cars. Katron Allen is a banger, but 0 top end speed according to Georgia Melissa. I'm not worried about it. Once you see those ricochets, brother, you'll be all in. Kiss my third leg. Enjoying this stream on my walk/metro to go get my knives sharpened. Okay. What a life. Just dudes rolling through town with a bunch of knives on a Wednesday afternoon at noon. Just off to get my knives sharpened. Incredible. What an errand to have to run. You got them in like a little satchel hanging over your shoulder. Coming through. Everybody move out. Coming through. Got to get my knife sharpened. Everybody be careful. All right. Did I, where's this draft board? Okay, here's the draft board. All right. I'm about to pick again. I did Vidal last time. What else does this team need? Definitely not one of those quarterbacks. Should we just do Vidal again? I guess we need bodies. Someone was asking about the Herbert stack stuff. I want to see the Chargers prices again. So Hampton in Lad are really expensive. But if you pull the trigger on Herbert at 81, you can do like QJ, Gadsden, Vidal, Harris. I do like those, playing that through the cheaper pieces on the Chargers. Ooh, kiss my third leg. You're a chef. Okay, that's even more badass than I imagined. For a luxury hotel in DC. If I swing through DC, can I get kiss my third leg? Chefing it up for me? That's badass, dude. Yeah, all the good knives are in Japan. I have heard that. George is saying Tesla got a big bump with Raymond leaving to Chicago. Yeah, I saw one of when I was looking at the rankings differences between leg up and ETR. I do want to say, hang on, I'm back on the clock here. You know what? Let me I got a little love for Dylan Sampson. I like him. I could have taken Singleton. But let's get another body in here. I like what I saw from Sampson last year. We'll pair him with Harold Fannin here. But I wanted to what was I going to talk about Tesla? Oh yeah, ETR and leg up vary pretty significantly on Tesla. ETR has him at 166 and leg up has him at 210. So yeah, a pretty big disparity there on Tesla. But yeah, I'm with you. I think he's an interesting name. Wow, look at this. I'm getting the hookup for a meal and a hotel discount if you need it. Dude, I would love to do a little spring weekend trip to DC. Some cherry blossoms. I could make this happen. Bring the fam. All right, here's the team so far. Through 15 rounds, we got 2-6-8-2. So after we went 4 straight onesie positions with Burrow, Fannin, Kraft, and Love, we come back. We get Jaden Reed and Concepcion. We grab Bill, and then because I can't help myself, the player who my teams come preloaded with, Travis Hunter, in the 13th, and then 3 straight running back darts: Allen, Vidal, and Dylan Sampson. And people were worried. People were worried. Yeah, I was going to make a joke about getting the knives and then storming the Capitol, but doesn't seem like one I want to make in this era of surveillance. All right, let's see here. We are about to pick 17. I guess I'm back in my same predicament with having to figure something out at quarterback, but that's probably not this place. Let's take another let's take a wide receiver and we'll go look them up in the draft guide. Jacoby Lane, come on down. What do you got for me, Jacoby Lane? Here he is. USC guy, alley-oop specialist evolving into a full field threat, skyscraping USC X who lives above the rim but still needs separation juice to match his highlight reel. Lane arrived as a red zone cheat code and has slowly been building out the rest of his game. Okay, so a raw, big-bodied wide receiver. When has that profile ever gone wrong? All right. And then I compare him to Germie Bernard. Should I have taken Germie instead? 1 one spot ahead in our rankings. Big versatile weapon who followed Kalen DeBoer to Alabama and became the Tide's do-everything offensive fulcrum. Shape-shifting chess piece who quietly took over Tuscaloosa. All right, what do we need? What do we need? Let me take one more running back dart. I can't help myself. Let me have a little Keaton Mitchell here, huh? Little Keaton Mitchell. Probably end up with a 3-7-7-3. Find one more quarterback, one more tight end here. Land this plane. Well, that's a comp. Bernard reminds me of Reggie Wayne. All right. All right. I will say these for being 20 round drafts, you guys been making picks fast today. Real fast. What do we get? We got 320 round drafts done in, I don't know, what was it, like 2 hours and 15 minutes? That's pretty good. I know, man. I'm the same way. Mr. Brad says these fantasy life headlines make me want to draft an all Bumblebee team. They are very tantalizing here. I mean, that's the fun of this rookie period. It's all best case scenario envisioning. All right, help me figure out this quarterback tight end to land. I mean, we could do the Penix thing again. I mean, if we're assigning probabilities of most likely to be, let's even just say a starter weeks 14 through 18, JJ McCarthy, Michael Penix, Ty Simpson, Kirk Cousins, Shedeur Sanders. Penix is still probably the best bet of these, right? I mean, isn't Penix just a slightly better version of Tua? I don't know, man. Kirk Cousins in week 17? Could be. Fish Mom doesn't think I need a third. Yeah, I think draft capital wise, I think you're right. But drafting in March wise, I think having another body on the team, like, I don't mind the idea of just adding Gesicki as part of the Burrow stack. And then there goes Michael Penix. I think I am just going to double stack Burrow. You know, on Burrow teams too, like, what are the one scenarios where we've seen Gesicki step into a bigger target role? It's when, you know, Jamar Chase is out. So on a Burrow team with Higgins, it's a pretty correlated bet. Like, if Jamar Chase was out for the season, you know, Gesicki's probably going, 5-6 rounds earlier. So it's basically saying, hey, let's play for the scenarios where down the stretch, Chase is not playing, is really the story you're telling yourself. No, Brissett's long gone. No, we're down to, I mean, I could do, like, how do you guys handicap the Cleveland Browns quarterback situation at this point? Yeah. Joe Burrow, Jordan Love again. I'd rather just I could probably throw another dart at it though. Do I have any stacking considerations? Green Bay, Cincy, Dallas. It's really just Cleveland. I mean, it would be the Shedeur. No, I'm not doing Deshaun Watson. I could do Shedeur though. That's what it probably should be, right? Shedeur's job to lose. Look, the man who sent me a $20 tip with no further explanation, if he says Shedeur for show, this one's for you. He paid for this draft. Shedeur Sanders. Wrists up. All right, here's a squad. Man, we made good time. We made good time on these. Joe Burrow, Jordan Love, Shedeur Sanders. 7 running backs. Kenneth Walker, Javonte Williams, Bill, Katron Allen, Kamani Vidal, Dylan Sampson, Keaton Mitchell. Wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb, T. Higgins, Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, KC Concepcion, Travis Hunter, Jacoby Lane. Tight end, Harold Fannin, Tucker Kraft, Mike Gesicki. Definitely the strongest team I've had at the onesies, just because I spent earlier capital on 2 quarterbacks and 2 tight ends. Got some good stacking there around Green Bay, Cincy, and Cleveland. Even get Dylan Sampson tossed into that Cleveland mix. Running back 3 and 4 is very sketchy. I will be the first to concede that. Bill as your RB3 doesn't feel good. I am asking a whole lot of Javonte Williams on this team. And that was a pick where I was visibly pained to make it. But hopefully with a little volume late there on attacking the position, it can survive. Wide receiver solid. Like, feel very good about Lamb, Higgins, Watson up top. And then taking some really high upside swings late with Reed, Concepcion, Hunter, Lane. Tight end solid. Fannin, Kraft, Gesicki. I think a little bit better than that second team I drafted. All right, guys. I appreciate you all. Thank you for joining me for a Wednesday edition of Best Ball Breakfast. Like I said, should have a ship chasing tomorrow afternoon, Friday after dark with Kendall. Make sure you guys are also subscribed to my P.O. Box newsletter and the Fantasy Life newsletter. Fantasy Life newsletter coming in your inbox 7 days a week. And then that personal newsletter from me, I drop in your inbox on Friday mornings. Otherwise, come join us in the Deposit Kingdom if you'd like. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesdays. Get your knives sharpened. Make sure you're enjoying your breakfast chain food, unless it's Dunkin Donuts, in which case we do not share that enthusiasm. All right, I'm Pete. We'll see you guys next time on Best Ball Breakfast. Peace.